Actually, I know we did like the '90s and '80s thing and some of the 2000s.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the stars themselves.
Alrighty.
Started with the granddaddy of them all, Arnold.
Yeah.
Stallone doesn't count considering the first movie he did was that.
Softcore porn.
I was trying not to say that.
Oh, I will.
Well, 1970, Hercules in New York.
Yeah.
Arnold had just come over from Germany and Austria
Yeah,
and all that stuff, and he still had the very thick accent.
Yeah. And they thought it wouldn't work, so they...
Although it works because, he's European, Greece is in Europe.
Yeah, and
although one of the things he had to do was he couldn't go by Arnold Schwarzenegger, he went by Arnold Strong.
Yeah.
Because of his name was kind of hard to pronounce and write.
Yeah. And, they dubbed over his voice originally because they thought, it wouldn't work. And
people couldn't understand him at first. I'm like, I could.
Yeah.
And although there weren't a lot of, big stars in that movie.
Right.
I think it was probably Arnold Stang. I think so. I think he's just a comedian.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Two Arnolds. It's not anything to write home about. But at the same time, it is fun. And there's a Godzilla reference in that movie.
Yeah.
On the posters, it's clearly Godzilla.
Yeah.
What did Arnold call it? A demon from the pits.
Yeah, I think that was what the poster called it, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah. I mean, that was his heyday. He was huge.
Yeah. And
then for a couple of years he didn't get a lot of work. He got work.
Yeah, but
I mean, he was in he was in the Jay Mansfield story. He didn't say anything.
Yeah. Basically non-speaking roles.
I think he was a mute bodyguard or something. But he got an award for it. He got an award for New Face. I think so.
That's new actor or something like that.
Yeah, he was also in a movie called Scavenger Hunt, I think like a gym teacher.
Huh.
I think. I'm not entirely sure.
Things to look up.
Yeah, it didn't really start till 82 or 81 or something when he did Conan.
Yeah, he did the Conan. The
first Conan movies. And that was huge.
Yeah.
And I think this is where he started getting the idea to ad-lib some of the lines. Because I think Dino De Laurentiis let him do it.
Yeah.
Because, he didn't divert from the script. But, that movie's quotable.
Yeah.
Oh, Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women.
Yeah.
And do you remember the speech he gave before he prayed? He prayed to Crumb, and he's like, Crumb, I've never prayed to you before. But this battle will probably matter to you, but what matters to me is the two stood against many, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Grant me revenge, and if you do not listen, then to hell with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's a great quote. And I think, let's see, 82. I don't remember when he did Conan the Destroyer. But then the next movie he really did was Terminator.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a back alley movie deal.
Yeah,
it worked surprisingly because they didn't have a lot of effects. They did have effects, but they really drove it home with the story. And that was Arnold playing the bad guy.
Yeah, and he did
one of the only times he was the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think he hasn't played the bad guy a whole lot since then.
I think that's the only time.
Yeah, that's the only bummer of it. He's been pretty much kind of.
But then again, he's not exactly the bad guy. He's just programmed to do that.
Yeah.
And then he comes back as a good guy in Terminator 2. and he comes back as a reprogrammed one in Terminator 3.
Yeah.
Turns out he had killed John Connor in the future.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terminator. He did Raw Deal, which I find enjoyable.
Ah.
But it says action, but I call it an action drama.
Ah.
Which is, it's actually a sort of remake of a movie from 1948 under the same name.
Yeah.
Kind of a noir, I think.
Ah.
And let's see, he did that. He did Running Man, Predator. He just came doing really big hits.
Yeah, and then
but
eventually he branched out a little bit. A few comedies, you know. I mean,
none of them were bad. I never had a problem with them.
Overall, for what they are, they're all right.
Someone's gonna find something out of them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you can't look at Junior.
I think Junior was probably the lowest.
Yeah, Junior was one of the most odd ones they did. But then again, when the plot is man is pregnant, you know, you can't really do a whole lot with that except go, huh?
Yeah, Twins was great. Red Heat was good.
Yeah. People complain a lot about when he did Jingle All the Way. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was good holiday comedy.
Although, to be fair, that's probably what some of the stuff that would happen if he had gone last minute shopping.
Yeah.
Or there's someone really exaggerated the story in a sense, but
oh yeah,
I think that's how it is.
Yeah. Let's see now.
Actually, that was the second time he worked with Jane Belushi too.
Yeah.
He was the Santa.
Yeah. Let's see now. He's done a little bit of everything. I mean,
let's see. He's fought mobsters. He's fought robots, cyborgs,
FBI, aliens,
clones,
the devil.
The devil, yeah. Mexicans.
Crazed prison wardens.
Terrorists.
Yeah.
Wait, crazed prison wardens. Oh yeah, escape plan. And he's pretty much done it all.
Yeah, he's done pretty much everything you could think of.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing he hasn't done yet is fight zombies, but
he's coming. Yeah, that's coming with Maggie. Yeah. That's gonna be great.
He's due to actually fight zombies. Oh God.
Yeah, that I'll see it, but I'm probably not gonna be able to believe it.
Yeah.
But we gotta go back to the 70s where someone really hit it off with Stallone.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple of stinkers starting out, but kind of like nowadays it'd be kind of like a marvel to look at.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Lords of Flatbush, where he's a greaser from the 50s. The trailer's hilarious, though. Like, Lords of Flatbush is a movie about life in the 50s. That's the whole show.
Oh, God.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and if you look at the trailer...
of course, that's kind of perfect considering he was in a lot of trouble as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, really, you know, he's been a little bit of everything.
Yeah, sports, movies, action films.
Yeah, Rocky was really his
big start. Big. Like, people actually started to take him seriously for such, like, an independent film.
Yeah. And then
people started, taking, like, you're going to only do Rocky movies? And then he did Rambo. And then he did First Blood.
Yeah, First Blood, which...
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. And it showed not only the action side, but his more serious side.
You could play a pretty good post-traumatic stress disorder soldier.
Yeah.
And then, he did a couple of comedies.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And then he played some, like, you know, I mean, he didn't have, like, a really big stinker.
Right.
Except Get Carter. That Oscar... Get Carter tanked really bad with $50 million in the hole. 51 million, or 52, I think.
I was going to say, I think that's one of those I have yet to see, but...
I've got it over there.
It didn't look too terrible, you know.
Yeah. It's actually a remake.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. He's a great actor. Just sometimes his movies just tank pretty bad. Like I think Lock Up tanked $4 million. I think.
Yeah.
That's not his fault though. It's hard to make a prison film.
Yeah, and to make it actually good, especially.
Oh yeah. And he did some really good '80s action films. Cobra was amazing.
Yeah.
That's how his Judge Dredd character should have been.
Oh God, yeah, I love. Even though you know people like to bash him.
Of course, when they did Judge Dredd, he had a bit of an ego.
Yeah. And you can kind of see that in the character, and
yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I personally enjoy Judge Dredd.
I did.
Don't think it's a terrible movie.
Dredd's better though. Dredd's much better though.
I have yet to see it.
I think with the problem with Judge Dredd is that they throw too many things together for the movie. They wanted to tell the whole story at once.
Yeah, and it should have been broken into 2 movies.
No, I really wish they had gone with the original idea of this one poster someone made with Harrison Ford as Judge Dredd. But then again, isn't that what Blade Runner is? Isn't that what Blade Runner is?
Pretty much.
That's what Judge Dredd kind of feels like. It kind of feels like Blade Runner. Make it look like Blade Runner at least. Of course, finally, in last year, Stallone and Schwarzenegger finally were in a movie together. Even though there's always like this, you know, inside jokes in the film.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious. Finally, they did something, and that was pretty good. There was some good quips, and then I mean, I don't count Expendables 2 because there's too many. They probably had almost no interaction.
Yeah, the Expendables movies to me are on a completely different level, and that's just a nice fan nostalgia for a little bit. Everybody.
Yeah. But to talk about this next guy, we have to go way back, like the days when TV was king, like the '60s, with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah.
He's been working steadily forever.
Yeah, he's been.
It's now recently that he took that. I think he had like a 2 year, like a year and a half break.
Yeah.
That he stopped because I think he's starting to get his Stallone phase, where he's not really turning out a lot of big ones.
Yeah.
I mean, The Art of the Steal I think tanked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I heard about it. I didn't even know it was in theaters.
There are a lot of them I didn't even know they were in theaters.
Although it's a lot like the movie Heist. Yeah, or Fantastic Mr. Fox in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of the game, but we've got this one job. One last jobber. Yeah, but he's a bit of an action star, but he's one of the better acting action stars.
Yeah.
His really big thing, I think, where people actually started to take him seriously, besides all these Disney films that he did, like in the 70s, was Elvis.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I really believed he was Elvis.
Yeah. I could see him pulling it off.
He did. He really did. Of course, I think Malcolm McDowell. Hold on, let me check the thing. It wasn't him singing. Roddy McDowell, there it is. I was thinking Malcolm McDowell? That doesn't sound right.
No, Malcolm McDowell was too busy doing other bizarre shit in the 70s.
Yeah, but that was great. But the really thing that really brought him out into the action genre was Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Which actually before that, Elvis I think was one of John Carpenter's their first work.
Yeah, I mean, let's see now. Yeah, I think he did Escape from New York before he did Halloween. But